So to get started with, we're going to be looking at mindset. And the first mindset principle that I want us to look at is this idea around rejection. Now, rejection is a word I, as a dating coach here, used an awful lot when it comes to men's dating. So this could be the feeling that you're just getting rejected all the time, that you've never had a positive result, that women like you to an extent, but they don't really see you as a boyfriend or as a sexual partner. All of these feelings can be interpreted as a feeling of rejection. Often also dating advice explicitly tells you around things like how you can try to avoid or learn to cope with rejection. Some dating coaches might tell you to do things like just approach 1,000 women and to learn to get over the feeling of rejection. Now, what this creates for you is a mindset where you think, oh my gosh, if I try to approach any woman, I'm going to be brutally rejected and I'm just going to have to get over it. In fact, that's misleading information, because in reality, what you're currently seeing as rejection might not be rejection at all. And why I want to help you to see less things as rejection and to understand the process of dating better is because if you feel less rejected, if you feel actually better and you feel that dating is a bit easier, that's going to help you to keep your motivation levels nice and high. And whether you're a man or a woman, what we all need for dating success is very good, very strong levels of motivation, because dating is a journey, dating is a process. Even when we meet that wonderful person or that wonderful 25 people, learning to deal with those relationships is its own journey in itself. So because of that, I need you to start finding the craft of dating, the journey of it and the experience of it fun and uplifting. So to begin with, we have to start to remove some of those negative mindsets around dating, which right now might leave you feeling like dating is a chore, that it's impossible, and that you're doomed to always get rejected by women. So rejection, or the idea of rejection, tends to come from two places. One, it's that you are interpreting her actions towards you as a rejection, or two, that because you've had what you feel is a rejection from a few women, you start to expect it from all women. So let's look at part one, where you're interpreting things as rejection. Now, because I work with men and women equally, I think I'm quite able to see that sometimes the things that you might experience as a rejection aren't in fact a rejection at all, but they're just external circumstances which aren't giving you the result that you want. Two really easy examples of this could be you are sending lots of messages out on your online dating profile and you are getting like nada back, or very little. It's important for you to know that the reason that you're not getting much response back, apart from looking at your profile and making your messages better and your pictures stronger, a lot of it could simply be to do with the fact that you might be messaging a user account that is inactive. You might be messaging a user that is getting 100+ messages a day, so she's not physically able to read through all the messages and assess all the profiles equally. She might just be making really snap decisions around things. So whilst you might be thinking, oh my gosh, she's just looked at me and has decided it's a no, her experience could be that she hasn't really looked at all, or certainly hasn't looked thoroughly, and therefore she isn't really rejecting you because she's only getting this tiny snapshot of you. This is similar as well to if you were going to approach her, or maybe if you are approaching a woman at a bar and she gives you the whole, I'm not interested, or just walks off with her friends. You might be thinking, gosh, like I've just made all this effort to psych myself up and walk over there to talk to her, and she's just rejected me. When in fact, again, she hasn't seen you approaching her as the opportunity to meet a partner or to meet a great lover or to have a great fun. She's just thinking, I'm preoccupied with my friends, I'm tired, it's noisy in here, oh, these other guys have been talking to me and they're being a bit crude, I feel a bit defensive, and I just don't want to talk to anyone. So a lot of the time when you're thinking, oh my God, she's rejected me, that actually might not be the case. If we take these limited experiences, and by the way, unless you've approached like thousands of women, in which case, kind of well done, but we might need to look at the technique around that. We can't really say that you're being rejected by women. In fact, whilst you might be thinking that that's your destiny, that might not be the case at all. So instead of seeing these all things as rejections, and from these limited experiences, even worse, starting to expect rejection, Now, what happens when you expect rejection? You become demotivated and you actually approach far less because obviously it's not a fun experience for you. And secondly, start to evaluate that a woman is rejecting you when in fact that's not what's going on for her. For women, building attraction is a bit of a process and it takes some time. So her instinctual first reaction to you doesn't necessarily give a very clear indication of whether she could go on to like you if, for instance, you hung out together on a date. So a thing that will happen if you have carrying this kind of feeling of rejection around with you is if a woman doesn't automatically, when you approach her, give you a very warm response, your motivation levels hit the floor. So this means that you're approaching a woman hoping that she's going to be giving you either a very enthusiastic message back on that online dating site, or she's going to turn to you and be like, oh, I'm so happy you came and spoke to me. And this is kind of just unrealistic, really, based on how women normally react to things. She doesn't yet know if she likes you because she hasn't had enough chance to engage with you. So because of this, you can't expect her to be showing strong signals that she is interested in you. So be very wary about the mindset around rejection. Be aware if you feel that you are interpreting that you have been totally rejected. Be aware that actually sometimes those feelings or what you might think are rejections might not necessarily be to do with you, or if they are to do with you, they might be to do with you 5% and the rest is external factors. Also be aware of her responsibility within the dating process to be open-minded and to hear you out. Also be aware of if you've had that feeling of rejection, are you perhaps bringing that into new dating experiences? Is when a woman is talking to you, are you automatically kind of getting out of that interaction quickly because she's not giving you very positive signals? Are you looking for very positive signals too early on in the interaction before she's really got the chance to get to know you? If we can get you to see rejection slightly differently, or to feel like you're being rejected less, and actually see instead areas that you can improve, and also have higher standards of what you expect from her in terms of her contribution, that's going to help you to keep you motivated. Because one thing we'd said that we know that we need from dating is to keep motivated, to keep putting yourself out there, to keep sending messages, and to keep approaching. So let's try to change your focus point away from rejection and make it instead about how you can improve what skills you have, how you can expect an element of luck and chance with dating, and how you can also be really explicitly looking out for women who are really open and willing and interested to talk to you.